friends, it's Loree with the blog wagonwheelhomestead.com. Welcome back to my kitchen. Today I'm going to be sharing with you one of our favorite recipes for sourdough discard, and that is sourdough discard Pop-Tarts. So you're going to really enjoy these. You can put lots of different kinds of filling in them, use your imagination, make them like the Pop-Tarts you remember from your childhood. And we're just going to be mixing up a simple crust, then putting in the fillings, baking them. It's really easy to make the night before, and then you can just bake them in the morning as well, so you can have a fast breakfast treat. And so you'll find the recipe for this on my blog, wagonwheelhomestead.com, as well as lots of other sourdough recipes. And stick around because in a little while, I have a special announcement I'm going to share with you. So I'm just going to add 2 cups of flour to my Bosch mixer, 4 tablespoons of sugar, and 2 teaspoons of salt. And then I'm going to cut my butter from the refrigerator. It's cold. It's also fine if it's frozen. You can actually shred it. I'm just putting it into smaller pieces, and we're making just a simple pie crust, just a sourdough discard pie crust. Again, I make this for beef pot pie, chicken pot pie, all my regular pies, my fruit pies. We use pie crust all the time. So I've just got it cut into some smaller chunks. I'm gonna put it into my mixer. Let it mix up well. We want it to turn into little pea-sized chunks, which is what you would typically do for any kind of pie crust. Then we're going to add our discard, and then we're just going to put this in the fridge and let it chill for just a little bit. Once the flour and the butter have combined and they look like small little pebbles, it's time to add in our sourdough discard. So we're going to add in 2 cups of sourdough discard. This is just discard that came straight from my refrigerator. I try to keep lots of it on hand so that I can quickly and easily make any kind of sourdough recipe whenever I get the idea to do so. And so we're just going to add 2 cups, and you don't want to over mix it at this point. You're just going to turn it on, let it mix just long enough to come together, and it will be a nice, beautiful dough. Very, very easy to work with. And then we're gonna hop over here and just pull this dough out, and I'm gonna just put it on a piece of plastic wrap and stick it right into the refrigerator and chill it for at least 30 minutes. And depending on how wet or dry your sourdough discard is, right? Like depending on how much flour you fed it, because I typically don't measure when I feed my sourdough starter, you may have to add a couple tablespoons of flour or a couple tablespoons of water, or just a little bit more discard, just depending on if it's a little wet or a little dry, but you want it to just come together into a beautiful dough, and this obviously is perfect. So I'm just gonna wrap it up, let it chill for a few minutes, and that's that. All right, so while that is chilling in the refrigerator, I'm going to tidy up the kitchen a little bit, do a few dishes, then we're gonna roll these out and make them. If you wanted to leave this dough in the refrigerator even for several days, you certainly can do that, and then just roll them out in the morning really quick and make your sourdough Pop-Tarts for breakfast. So it's very simple and easy to do. But anyway, the announcement I have to share with you, which I'm so excited to share with you, is that our family is expecting baby number 6 in November. So anyway, we're very excited to add another beautiful blessing to our home. And I've always wanted a house with a full table, and the Lord is going to bless me with that, and I'm so thankful for that. So anyway, that is the news here on our homestead, is we're going to be adding another little baby sometime in November. So anyway, I won't be sharing a lot of pregnancy content because this really isn't a channel that's all about that, but I'll be sharing little bits and pieces along the way. And so if you have any questions, I do plan to do home birth as I've done with all of my other children. So if you have any questions at all about natural birth, home birth, just doing things the more natural way, feel free to reach out to me and I will share with you what I can. And so whenever you're ready to roll out your Pop-Tarts, you're just going to get your dough out of the refrigerator. And again, this is a double batch because I'm going to show you a couple different kinds of fillings. There's lots of different kinds of fillings you can put in these. Basically anything that you can imagine. You know, think of your favorite Pop-Tart varieties and then use your imagination and make up a filling that is similar. So I split my dough in half because I'm just going to roll it out into 2 different pieces, and each piece is going to make 4 different Pop-Tarts. So I like to use my bench scraper to sort of measure, like, have I rolled my dough thinly enough? Is it the right size? You can cut off little pieces and fill it in and make it so that you have the right size for Pop-Tarts. You want them about 4 inches wide and 8 inches long or so. And so you can see I'm just squaring it up, and then I'm going to add the filling. So this is strawberry rhubarb jam. I have a recipe for this on the blog on how to make jam without pectin. You can look that up. And so I'm just putting a little bit in each Pop-Tart. Now you can make your own filling. So you can take fruit and sweeten it with some sugar, thicken it with some cornstarch, and I would use about a tablespoon of cornstarch per cup of fruit. So you can certainly do that and make your own jam, let it cool off, and then put it in your Pop-Tarts as well. But this is jam I already had made, which makes this really fast and easy. And then I just use a fork to crimp the edges after folding it over. And again, it doesn't have to be perfect, right? Your kids and your family are probably going to eat it even if it doesn't look perfect. So crimp the edges, and then I like to put it on a parchment lined baking sheet, and we're going to bake these here in a little bit. So this is a brown sugar cinnamon Pop-Tart. That is my favorite variety of Pop-Tart. So if I had to choose a store-bought Pop-Tart, it would be the ones with brown sugar. So I just took brown sugar, cinnamon, and butter, and the exact measurements for that are on the blog, wagonwheelhomestead.com. And so I just made sort of a paste. You don't want it to be too runny. And then stuck that in as the filling in the brown sugar Pop-Tarts. And these are by far my favorite, although the ones made with jam are really good as well. And again, just folding them over, crimping them quickly. And then we're going to bake at 350 degrees for 15 or 20 minutes until they are nice and brown. And then we're going to put a really delicious glaze on the top. So for the glaze, I'm just taking powdered sugar, a little bit of milk, mixing it up. You can, add more or less milk to get it to the consistency that you like. And then just drizzling it over the warm Pop-Tarts, and they are so delicious this way. Well, thanks for coming along for this fun video where I showed you a quick and easy sourdough breakfast you can make for the entire family. Thanks for hanging out for our special announcement as well, and we will see you in the next video.